Hello lovelies and happy Australia Day! So I have a mixed media layout today, and this is inspired by a cyber crop on the Kidaholics Facebook page. Now it is an Australia Day long weekend cyber crop, and they had a bunch of challenges, and you know that I am most motivated with challenges. It really helps me get out of my funk, I find, if I am in one. And I just really enjoy challenges. And this one, well, this turned out better than I could have hoped. So they had one challenge where you spin the wheel, which is on a really cool webpage, and it gives you 5 different products to use, and you can pick 3. And then there was another one where you scrap lift one of the design team members. I decided to scrap lift that picture that I showed you at the beginning by the lovely Deb Egan. And about halfway through, this morphed into something a little different. It still follows the basic structure of Deb's layout, but in the end, I was also able to use the 5 products that I picked on the spinner wheel. Now that was watercolor, washi tape, pocket pages, stamps, and what was the last thing? Oh crap, I can't remember. But I was able to use all 5. What was the last thing? Stamps, watercolor, pocket page thingies, washi tape. I'm drawing a blank. I counted them out. There was 5. But anyway, so this ended up being the challenge, the page I did for both. I really love how this turned out. It's probably one of my favorite layouts. So the pocket page cards, I cannot remember where I got them from. I can see the logo in my head of where I think they came from, but I'm drawing a blank. Now, this was by luck I found these cards. Now, you know how much I love boy collections, and I was going through my stuff, a box that I actually haven't, it's not a box, it's like a storage container thing. It's a Kaiser Craft design your own storage drawers. I barely open them, which is stupid. And they're full of pocket page cards. And I was looking for a set for my mother-in-law's cruise album that we quickly put together while she was here. And I found these ones, and I'm like, oh my god, where have they been? They are fantastic. They're clearly boy themed. And so I thought I'd get them out. And I'm going through looking for ones that match the pattern paper that I've decided to use because I just love it. And then this is where it morphs. So if you got a quick look at the beginning of the picture of Deb's layout, it had one picture followed by 3 pocket page cards spread across the layout. So I was going to use 2 pictures of both the boys and then 2 pocket page cards. I didn't like it. So I decided, instead of sticking to the sketch or the layout hard and fast, I thought, I'm not going to create something that I don't like just for a challenge. So I turned it into something that I would like. So I'm mounting pictures of the boys on the pocket page cards. I'm getting really good with my mounting and my layers. I'm not worrying as much that it has to be perfectly square. If you've watched my videos in the past, I really have been working on layering because especially with my Flutterby stuff, because the cards are 4x6 and a lot of the photos are 4x6, you've got to get creative with your layers, and that's what I've been trying really hard to do the past few months. So yeah, one of these photos you'll notice is off center, but I went with it and I really like how it turned out. So this is where I'm adding my watercolors now. As you can see, that background paper has a touch of blue on it, and I wanted to bring in a little bit of green to go with the pocket page cards that I had. But I really predominantly wanted it to have that blue, so I wanted it to try and coordinate. So I got out my Jane Davenport watercolors. I'm not big with watercolors. As you can see, I'm not the best at it, but I get my big mop brush, I get a lot of water, and I go for it. I do spray water on my watercolors as well. It makes them much easier to use. And then I just mix little bits of different colours. I never use one colour. I use different colours together to get a good blend. And then I'm drying it off and I'm adding my splatters. I have learnt to dry before you splatter. Otherwise, wet on wet is going to bleed. So I do dry it before I add my splatters. And yeah, so it's not perfect, but it does the work. I find the big mop brush really helps. If you struggle with watercolouring, get a big mop brush. I love my mop brush. I think it's something like a 26, I think. I had to look really hard for it. And I think I bought it separately on its own. It's a 24. And yeah, a big mop brush makes all the difference, and lots of water. So this is where I'm adding the washi tape. Now this was just something, I didn't think I'd use it even though I spun it. But as I was looking at the layout and looking at my page, it looked a bit flat where that paper met my background. So I thought adding some washi tape in there for a layer would really help. You know me, I don't like straight lines. So I ripped my washi tape in half. That was fun. And it just gave me this jagged edge that I was able to tuck in behind my pattern paper. Now, with my pattern paper, when I ripped it, I scrumpled up the edge, so I haven't adhered down the top edge, as you can see. And it was easy enough for me to put the washi tape in, at least down the bottom. Up the top, I had more problems, which I was quite surprised with. But honestly, it worked really well. I thought it would look weird, but it goes together seamlessly because of all the ripped jagged edges. So that gave me just another layer, and it really helped bring the pattern paper onto the white cardstock, and yeah, it just looks really good. It looks a lot better. I am not usually a pattern paper person in the sense that I don't mix pattern paper with white cardstock. If I'm going to use pattern paper, I'm going to use a 12 by 12 piece. If I'm going to use white cardstock, I'm going to use a 12 by 12 piece, and I'm going to do mostly mixed media on it. This was fun in the sense that I got to do both. Now, yeah, just trying to get creative with mixing and matching my mixed media style with some of the fantastic collections that I have amassed in my stash. So it was really fun to be able to add this, and I've still got the middle section of this paper to continue to use. So I did want to add some dimension, and I knew I wanted to layer one of the pictures. These were 3x4s, but I trimmed them down because there was a lot of background in the one of Will, which is that one there. I had the shoulder of someone, so I just trimmed it down. So the photo's not the exact same size. So when I mounted it, I was able to, by adding an off-centered layer and popping it up on some foam, I was able to get some dimension, and you can't really tell that the photos aren't the same size. Now I'm bringing some more of that washi tape in. The whole point of me moving that picture off to the right was because I really liked that faux washi tape strip up there. And so I'm just adding real washi tape on top of it to give me another layer and to bring in some more of that black chevron washi. Now this is where I had a lot of fun. Sometimes when I do lots of mixed media in the background, which I didn't really in this one, but sometimes I really struggle with my embellishing. I struggle making clusters. These two came together quite nicely, and I'm really, really proud of this layout. I adore this layout. It just all come together beautifully. And that's why I like challenges. That's what I mean by they can really help when you're stuck, whether it be, you know, the mojo's not there, or you're getting bored with creating the same thing or the same style over and over again. I know I fall into that trap a lot. A lot of my layouts start to look the same, which is why I really enjoy, well, I feel they look the same anyway, and I really enjoy challenges because it just gets you out of that comfort zone and you end up creating something that you love. Like this page, this is definitely started out different for me, but it was just one I loved. So now I'm adding in some stamping. It took me a while to find this stamp set because I knew I had some cogs somewhere. Think I could find them? No, but I found on my 6x6 paper pads. But anyway, first I'm adding these cogs. So they're a brand new stamp set, and I had to mess with the ink first. Oh, there's a word for it and I can't remember what it is, but basically sometimes, you know, when you stamp a brand new stamp, it's all beady, it doesn't quite sit properly. Some people use a rubber on the stamp. I use the Versamark ink method. You stamp it with Versamark and then for some reason rub it off on your hand or on your skin, and it treats the stamp and it works much better after that. The only reason I did that today is because I can't find a rubber, but apparently that does the same thing. So then I've stamped with some Distress Oxide ink because I felt like it, and sometimes when I use my archival ink I just don't get a crisp enough, well, it's not the crispiness, it's more I think I need a new ink pad, and sometimes it just doesn't work very well. But obviously these are brand new ink pads, so they worked much better. Now I'm getting some rubber pieces from the Cocoa Vanilla U Rock collection, I believe it is. I love these things, they're just awesome. And you can staple them on, which you know how much I love adding staples to boy layouts. And I think that's pretty much going to be it, just adding a few more stamps just to finish off my clusters. And that's going to be it for this layout. Now, I love this layout, I love how it turns out, and I hope you have enjoyed the video. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll be back real soon with a new one. Bye for now.